We're on record, and don't worry, the front end of this, we can slice that off. So.
Sure. All right.
All right.
Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Dr. David Kulowski from Inside Health in Loveland, Colorado. Here again with Joseph Antel. Joseph is a nutrition expert. He's been with Standard Process now for over 40 years, a wealth of experience, and he is our go-to person for us as practitioners when we have a detailed question about a complex case. And so it's just an honor to have him here, to be able to pick his brain and have him to answer some questions. He is also by far the most trained expert in the heart sound recorder. He is basically one of the front men who brought this back from the dead. It was a lost device for many, many years. And they reverse engineered it and literally resurrected it. And so he's here to talk about what this device is, how it works, and we're going to get into some more specifics on that so you have a better idea. So Joseph, I will let you take it from there.
Thank you, Dr. David. Whoa. Whoa, that's really loud. Wonder what happened. Can you?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. We can cut that out. Well, thank you, Dr. David. It's wonderful to be with you all again and to share this wonderful technology with you. And as you were saying, Dr. David, this particular technology is over 90 years old. And Dr. Royal Lee originally had the original invention of this. He was a dentist, an electrical engineer, and the founder of Standard Process, a very brilliant man. And so for decades, that old technology, as you said, no one could reverse engineer it. And so along with actually another chiropractor, an electrical engineer, and myself, we undertook to bring this into the digital age, which we have now, and it's been around for actually about 7 years. So what is the heart sound recorder? Well, Dr. Lee, as I said in my last podcast, wanted to show his clients and other health professionals how nutrition could work in the body, how it could assist in bringing a balance to the various systems, organs, glands, and tissues of the body. And so he realized that in order to do that, we have to really show it to people. And so he decided that it was through the observing the heart, because the heart is the most electrical organ in the body. The heart is affected by anything. Just have a Red Bull and take your pulse before and take your pulse after. That will show you, or a cup of coffee or chocolate, or anything that MSG that bothers your heart. And you'll see that the heart will tell you right away. So he, in developing this technology, said, well, we need to show it. We need to show a graph. And so the heart sound recorder, what's called now, came into being. And it's considered a low-risk general wellness device. It is not a diagnostic tool in any way, shape, or form. It is simply to run a simple graph of different parts of the heart, and then the clinician can observe. So it's really an observational tool to narrow down and determine where there may be nutritional deficiencies. And after applying the nutrition, it's very simple. You run another graph and see if it normalizes the different actions of the heart, which we'll get into in a second.
Yep.
And so the heart sound recorder is very simple. It has a sensor, and it has a control unit, which you can see, it looks like a little black box. And then it is just tied into software on a laptop of a computer. The key is the sensor. Now, this sensor, that's why you notice I didn't call it a microphone. Many interpret it as a microphone, but it isn't. It does not graph sound. It graphs motion. And so it's very similar technology in a very microcosm of the way in this very small sensor, it's very similar to how they measure earthquakes. It's a motion sensor. And so how do they measure earthquakes? Actually, the earthquake center of the world is in Golden, Colorado. I don't know if you all knew that. And so they put sensors on the surface of the planet, and they create a schematic of the whole Earth. And then they can tell through those sensors that only measure motion, the movement of the tectonic plates. Now, I don't want to give you a science lesson here, but this is the very similar technology. It's just showing you the motion. And that motion is the closing of the 4 valves of the heart. And so in a nutshell, that's really what this does. It's not rocket science. It's very simple, but the sensor is very difficult to make. And coming out of the original sensor, no one was able to reverse engineer it. People tried for decades. And so this particular chiropractor and the electrical engineer did a marvelous job. So let's look at what you do with the sensor. Well, we place it over 4 different positions. These are positions that now, whether the clinician does this or the office assistant, and it's 4 different places: over the bottom left of the heart, the bottom right of the heart, as you can see here, the top right of the heart, and the top left of the heart. Did I say that right? The bottom left, the bottom right, the top right, and the top left. So you basically surround the heart, and there are alternative positions. So you won't necessarily know this when as the clinician or the assistant is placing these, but sometimes if we don't get a good reading, we move it around a little bit, and that's why we created these alternative positions. So this is on a young woman, this is a young man, same thing, very clearly. And so by placing that and then running a graph, we can see the rate, the rhythm, and the tone of the heart. Now remember, that is a window into the entire body. So, and you can see that obviously there is a normal graph, an ideal graph, a perfect graph, which I believe I showed you on my last podcast, where you have 2 beats to your heart: lub, dub. Lub, dub. Notice how I said that. The first beat should be stronger and louder than the second. And that's really all you need to know. And there needs to be a proper rest period in between. Now, the heart does something that no other organ, gland, or tissue in the body does. It beats. It beats because it is stimulated by an electrical impulse, which allows the heart, causes the heart to contract. And that contraction moves the blood through the heart and then out into the body. Now, whether you have studied the heart or not, it doesn't matter, but you can know, and you should know, because it is a marvel of nature, that the heart beats 100,000 times a day. Now, in all my lecturing around the country, I've often said, if anyone can do anything 100,000 times in a 24-hour period, I will give you $1,000. I will write you a check right now. And this is the marvel of the human heart. The other marvel is that it moves blood 100,000 miles, 100,000 times a day. Now, if that's not a marvel of nature, of God, I don't know what is. This is why this is such a marvelous window to know what is going on, to be able to see that person, to observe their journey. Are they struggling? Are they deficient? Are they misaligned? Is the life force is not moving through them accurately? And here's where, of course, the blessing of chiropractic comes in. And so the other little clinical marvel is that the heart rests twice as long as it works. And here you can see it on the graph. If it doesn't, that means that something is off neurologically, something could be off muscularly, or something could be off just between the relationship between your brain and your body, called the autonomic nervous system, which is the basis of chiropractic. That balances your autonomic nervous system. When you leave Dr. David's office, your brain and your body are now synchronized. They are communicating. They are the most balanced they possibly can until possible misalignments happened again. And this is why nutrition and how we can see what you need nutritionally, and chiropractic and other modalities too, other forms of care, acupuncture, massage, but chiropractic particularly, this is such a great partner to that. And that's why, in my opinion, everyone should have these graphs run at least twice a year. I would say quarterly. They don't need it a lot.
Now, Joseph, you are perfectly correct. That is, it is a very simple device. It's very simple to run. It's very quick, and but I don't want to minimize, obviously, the importance of the final results here. And as the results we're going to see, or going to show us here in a second, they can be fairly complex. It takes a while to learn how to read these correctly and to figure out what's going on. A lot of people may be familiar with other kinds of heart tests, like an EKG or something similar. Can you speak to any differences or similarities, like what a person might see on those tests, and how the heart sound recorder just adds more depth to their understanding of their heart?
Yes. So medically, when they run an electrocardiogram or other tests, they are seeing basically how the electrical part of the heart, whether it's working or not working. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really tell you much about the tone of your heart or what you're missing if your heart is off. And usually it only tells you if something is happening or something has happened. The heart sound recorder, because it helps you to read imbalances in your lifestyle. It could relate to, as I say, misalignment, sleep, something in your diet, too much caffeine, too much alcohol. It could relate to the food you're eating. So it will tell you the things you need so that any event related to the heart or the rest of the body will not occur. That's the difference. This is showing you where you are on your journey, but where possibly you could go on that journey in a good way or a bad way. And so that's why it's so crucial that you get a baseline graph and then you get checked once in a while. Just like you come in to get chiropractic care. David palpates your spine and says, oh, there's a subluxation here. This needs correction. It's the same thing, but the correction here is telling us nutritional care that's needed, lifestyle care, how
Joseph,
to live in a better way. Yes.
An analogy that comes to mind is to think of your body as a car. An EKG, if it's looking at just the electrical signals, is basically seeing, are the spark plugs getting a spark?
Right.
And this device, the heart sound recorder, is basically seeing, are the cylinders even firing? Are they creating the combustion? Is the force actually being produced to drive the vehicle in the first place?
That's right. That's right. And whether specific minerals are deficient in your body, specific vitamins, or specific proteins that help assist your body to function better. Now, and that leads to this graph. Is your body too slow? Now, why would this be of concern? Well, if your heart is too slow, this means that balance between your brain and your body is too slow, and you may not be getting enough oxygen to your tissue. You're too slow. This is the person that oftentimes can't get out of their own way. It's the person that says, geez, I can't remember where I left my keys. I'm always forgetting. Yes, because you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. So the clinician knows these things. So we're not treating a disease. We're just observing where nutritional needs are. This is a case, as you can see, that this person is too fast. This is lub-dub, lub-dub. This is lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub. This also indicates a nutritional need, which I'll get into in my next podcast with you. Now, this is like you use the analogy of a car, which I love because I use it too, David. This is like having the car in park with your foot on the gas and the RPMs are way up. That engine's going to burn out eventually. And here it is. And it's a simple fix. This just needs a specific mineral to accelerate. This needs a specific mineral to put the brakes on, to slow it down. It's that easy. Now, what happens if we look at the ideal graph? What happens if in between beats, the heart has a lot of disturbance? And here it is. It's in the word flutter is used. It's just the heart never rests. The heart should sleep 2/3 of your life. Do you realize that? That your heart rests. If you live 100 years, 67 years, your heart is completely at rest. You could say asleep. That's how it can function so well for what, 70 to 90 years, because nature is so brilliant. It's so intelligent, so smart. It says, all right, I'm going to make you do something 100,000 times a day, but you're going to rest twice as much as you work. Wouldn't that be wonderful to live our lives that way? None of us do in our society, but the heart does. Now, if it doesn't, then this means something else. A really simple fix with nutrition, which will be next time.
And I can tell you, people that have that kind of scan often don't even think they have anything any heart problem to speak of.
Right.
So in the next video, we're going to talk about what are the common symptoms that we see with the different heart presentations. And then I'll also talk about some of the basic ideas of how we go about correcting these imbalances too.
Right. Yeah. And they may not feel it, Dr. David, but they may feel it in their body. They may say, I feel like, when I lay in bed, my legs move around. I have that, that restless leg syndrome. Or if I'm sitting, I'm biting my nails, I'm twirling my hair, or my legs are shaking all the time.
Yep.
This is a sign that this is occurring throughout the body. Yep. That person that just can never go, take that deep breath and just chill out. They can't. Now you could say, well, it's too much sugar, it's too much caffeine, too much alcohol. It could be all of that. But usually, go ahead.
When you feed the body correctly, the heart is included in that. So whatever affects the body, the heart is going to affect the rest of the body, like you said.
The heart is simply telling us that story.
Yeah.
It is revealing to us what is going on in the body. Sometimes
when that person gets fixed, then they can look back and compare how they feel now compared to how they felt then, and that's when it becomes real to them about how significant that was. They might not have realized they even had anything to be concerned about with their heart, but once they see the before and after, then it becomes very apparent.
And they feel it in their bodies too. When I get adjusted, I don't know if anybody that will hear this, if you have this experience, when I get adjusted, have a chiropractic adjustment, when I walk out of there, I can see better. It actually is made by vision clearly. I can hear better. I don't have the pain and discomfort that I had when I came in. Well, it's the same with the body if you give it the right nutrition and the right care. Now, this is a person, because of all of these are real graphs. These are real people that I've collected over the last 7 years. This is a person that is tired all the time. Can you see that? Look how long it takes for his heart to work. This is how it should be. And look at, there's no height to this sound, this first sound. Your heart shouldn't, this heart right here is love dub. That valve is slamming shut. That tells you that this person, not only their heart muscle is weak, but the other muscles in their body are weak. Every place is weak. And so, because your heart should be love dub, not love dub, love dub. It's struggling. This gentleman's heart is struggling. And we that corrected over time. And here is what I was saying about that high second sound. And so these, knowing the normal graph and just comparing and observing means something globally is going on in the body. And you can also have something that looks like this. There should be no separation in that first sound. It shouldn't be lub lub dub. It shouldn't be like that. That's a simple nutritional deficiency. You can't correct this with drugs. You can't correct it, but you can with nutrition. Or something like this, that after the sound, that S1 closes, it should seal shut. It should not have this disturbance after the closure. That means something as well, or before. So not to get too technical with this, and I don't think that I hope I haven't, it's very simple how the heart sound recorder helps us to understand where you are on your journey.
Yep.
And how we can help you through nutrition, through chiropractic care, through lifestyle, through diet, how it can help you live a healthier, happier life. A lot of unhappiness in people is just because their body is physically not well. Their body is not in the natural rhythms of life. It is not in the flow of harmony, of peace. If your body is not at peace, how can that person possibly be in the outer sense at peace? And so that's what we do. We're not trying to cure any disease or fix anything like that. But if the body is balanced, if the body is in harmony, that dis-ease leaves the body. And so that's how I have spent my life, is teaching this. Because you know what? Somebody saved my life. Somebody helped me with my life. And maybe in a podcast, I'll share a little bit about my cancer journey. But so it's been great to be with you, David, and to continue. And, you know, we'll look forward to our next podcast together. So are we 15 minutes out?
That's all right. Now, if you are watching this from outside of the Loveland, Colorado area, and you can't make it to us, but you have a practitioner of your own, or you're going to seek out a natural healthcare practitioner, and you want to make sure that they have these tools to help you as well, we're going to put Joseph's information into the notes here. So please have them get in contact with Joseph. Or if you are a practitioner yourself and you want to be able to use this and learn more about it, Joseph is the man to go to. And so again, we'll reach out to him and he'll be happy to help. He's been a blessing for us. And we just are so happy to have you here. And we're looking forward to the next video where we're going to dive a little deeper into some case studies and learn more about actual, people that have been helped by this. So thank you, Joseph, today. Anything else you want to say?
Thank you, Dr. David, for giving me the opportunity, and Dr. Lauren as well. And I'll look forward to being with you both next week.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Blessings to you all.
All right. That was great, Joseph.
Stop recording. Do you think that went well?
That was awesome. Yeah.